What's up guys, Ben Clark here for Adapt Perform. Today I've got a very exciting thing for you guys. I'm here to introduce my friend Sam. I think we've got a really fascinating and interesting story. Sam was the training physio basically when I very first had my injury, and she was very integral in the very first days and weeks of my injury. Teach me how to eat again, how to move my arms, how to do lots of different things, and our story progresses from there, and there's some really interesting twists in the way, and so I thought it'd be really interesting for you guys to know our story together. So without further ado, thank you very much, Sam, for joining me. So yeah, let's start with the very early days of when we met for the first time. Let me know tell me about what your experiences in that was.
So I was working in hospital, and I was told that we had you coming up from ITU and you were waiting for transition to another hospital for your longer rehab.
Yeah.
And I need to see you daily and get used to using your arms more, because you weren't allowed to sit up at that point. You were allowed to sit up a little bit, but not all the way. So it's just getting you really used to using your arms and learn to do things like eating and shaving and speak to your mum. And I remember just feeling so sad for you because of your training, because you were training.
I was a swimmer, training for
the Olympics. Yeah,
that was my goal.
So I just felt really sad about that. How you, because you dived to the sea, didn't you?
Yeah.
And broke your neck. So I always looked forward to seeing you and getting you to do things. Yeah. And I would always spend a lot longer with you than anyone else, because I thought it was so important for you, because it was going to be a long recovery.
Yeah, well, it really did help, the early days, and I've said to you many times, in the past, without your help in the beginning, I don't think I would have been necessarily in as good a place going into Salisbury and that, and having you there to do those extra time and that, I look forward to it every day as well. I was like, oh yeah, I've got Sam coming in, and we're gonna. It wasn't just laying there and watching TV. Or just talking to friends and family. It's somebody who's actually wanting to come and help me, and because the hospital beforehand, Paul was just, I'm just there waiting.
Yeah, because it's so, people don't realise that you're an inpatient because something's happened.
Yeah.
But when you're a young person in the hospital, you feel like you're in a prison.
Yeah,
you feel
totally
like you're
trapped.
Yeah. And food comes at certain times, people come at certain times. No one speaks to you directly, they speak around you, around your bed, and you just feel like you're in a place you shouldn't be.
Yeah, definitely. No, I totally agree. And having someone come in, because Salisbury, the hospital, is very much geared towards making you get better, but Paul's was literally just waiting to get to Salisbury. So having someone there who was interested and invested in helping me progress was such a massive part. So tell me because obviously you were a training physio, so what was I guess it was interesting for you because you had someone there that was different, and someone that probably wanted to progress compared to some of the other people.
A lot of people don't like to see therapists because it hurts. Sometimes it's not nice. You need to get through that initial stage where it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt sometimes quite a lot, but it's for a reason. It's for you to get better.
Yeah, definitely.
And so seeing you was really, really good for both of us, because I knew where you wanted to be, and I knew I wanted to be a physio because I wanted to help people like you.
Yeah.
And so that was before I started my degree, so that was even more of it was important for me to see you, because I know that going to physio was definitely the right thing for me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do. I couldn't imagine being anything else.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad I was part of it. So let's talk about where you went from there in terms of what you sort of progressed into. You said you went on to do physio and that.
Yeah. So I became physio. Then I moved to London to work as a physio, and then I applied for a job in Austria as a snow sports physio, so people that would injure themselves on holidays, just trying to give them as fit as they can be and
Yeah.
as safe as they can be to go and enjoy their holidays on the mountains still.
Yeah.
And then I was only there for a month,
Mm.
and my accident happened.
Yeah. Well, before we get on to the
Sorry.
accident, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So before we get to the accident, I just want to like talk about that and some of the stuff you did with the backup and
Oh,
that.
backup dress, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like in terms of like you obviously had. Did you have sort of an interest in spinal cord injury before you met me, or was it something that progressed after that?
I think it progressed after that. I think I love rehab.
Yeah.
I love people benefiting from seeing someone.
Yeah.
To get advice and education to help themselves.
Yeah.
You don't need someone to put their hands on you and like abracadabra, you're better now.
Yeah.
It really comes from your own way what you're doing yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I worked with the Backup Trust as a carer, doing sports like skiing with them, and there was an activity week doing abseiling and climbing with people in wheelchairs, and you would never think that someone in a wheelchair could abseil off a mountain, but you can.
Yeah. So yeah, like I think that's like really interesting, like where you went from there, like keeping that connection between, you know, the spinal cord injury and like the more active side of it, and like helping people along. I think that's
you don't need to be wrapped in cotton wool.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that you still need to have a life.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly something that Backup provides for people. Yeah. So like the last interview I had, I was talking to someone who worked with Backup in the more mentoring side, and you work on the more fun side.
Yeah.
In my opinion, obviously, like mentoring is very important in the wheelchairs,
important,
but like for some people, they don't necessarily need somebody to talk to like that. They just need something to do and to realise what they can do, and that's really amazing. So. They get lots of shout outs on my channel. I'm more than happy to give.
So even before Backup, I was a living carer for tetraplegics, and I was having some of my clients would go off and do wheelchair tennis. Like I could hardly play tennis, let alone be in a wheelchair, be a paraplegic, and be doing wheelchair tennis, and doing like sports, kite flying and stuff. It's like there's so much you can do.
Yeah, definitely.
There's always a way to do something.
Yeah, just got to figure it
out.
Figure it out. And so that's what Backup does for some people. It figures out for you. So yeah, it's really good. So moving on from there, and you were in Austria, sort of doing pretty much a similar thing in terms of what was. Yeah, tell me what you're doing like there in terms of the rehab stuff.
So my job was mainly for people going on week-long holidays, injuring themselves on the mountain, and then when you're going away skiing for a week, you can't just have like 2 days on a mountain and then be injured the rest of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So my job was to get them safe and well enough to get back on the mountain and enjoy the rest of the holiday.
Yeah.
So I would do sports massage, I would tape them and treat them initially so that they were safe enough to get back on the mountain and enjoy the rest of the holiday.
Yeah. And was this something that, because you were going skiing on Backup and that, obviously it sounds like you have a passion for skiing and like winter sports now. Is that something you've always...
I love snow, I love mountains, love skiing. I've always been active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell from like what you've done before and linking it with the physio, that's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of physios that sort of do that, but it's fascinating to see somebody that does it for a very specific thing. And having those passions, because then for the patients you have, and like for myself as well, like having someone that has a passion for it, you can tell like when they're there, and it makes it more enjoyable.
It makes it different.
It makes that pain a little bit less.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, when it's somebody who's like, oh yeah, I really want to help you, and like, oh I love skiing or something, and they just had a little bit of, you know, whatever they had on the mountain, and then going back into it. It must have been really good for some people, I bet.
It's an awesome place. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I bet. So let's move into like the next bit of it and talking about, like you said, you were only there for a month before you had your accident, and let's talk about the accident really.
Thank you.
So
I finished working New Year's Eve. I did all my massage, and then I drove to my friend's place in another part of Austria and hiked up a mountain to see igloos he builds on top of the mountain, because you can stay in them.
Oh, wow.
And so we thought we'd do that, have like fireworks, dance around a campfire at the top of the mountain. It was an awesome New Year's Eve, and then we decided to sled back down the mountain. And I remember walking up with my friend and turning around to her and being like, we've got to sled down this later, it's so steep. And not having any other thoughts about it. And then I remember sledding down and falling off every now and then, laughing about it because I couldn't even control myself.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I remember is I woke up 2 weeks later in hospital and saw my dad, which I haven't seen since I was 19. And he drove from Australia and said that I'd been in an accident and I'd been in a coma for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I slid off the mountain and I broke my skull in 4 places, massive brain injury, broke my neck, broke my back, pulled the nerves out of my spinal cord that control my arm. So I was pretty damaged, but I felt that I was going to work the next day when I woke up. It's just crazy.
Yeah. So were you told what, like, 'cause obviously you had a friend with you, like, did they tell you sort of what had happened in terms of how it happened, or is it something?
So I think no one really knows what actually happened. We're just guessing, because the rest of them got to the bottom of the mountain. They were like, "Where's Sam?" and had to climb up and find me, and then call Mountain Rescue to come and get me off the mountain.
Yeah.
Because I'd gone 50 meters off the side, and they had to abseil me, but they had to rope me back up the mountain after they got the neck brace and everything. So we assume that the section that I came off was quite narrow, and there was nothing one side, so I just think I just went off that.
Yeah.
And I was probably...
You said 50 metres?
50.
50?
Yeah.
50, wow, that's the Olympic swimming pool, literally like that. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
That's
and there was not a lot of snow because we were really struggling for snow that year.
Yeah.
So when I went back and saw where it was found, there was a tree stump and I was wrapped around it, facing down the mountain. And they couldn't move me for about 2 hours because they were having to wait for the neck brace and the back brace so they could move me.
Wow, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky, but it's so crazy.
Lucky to be here. Yeah, that's crazy to think about like that. So you said you woke up in hospital and you saw your dad for the first time. Just can you talk about like your emotions at the time and what you were feeling?
I don't think that my emotions were I would say real. They weren't real because I was so medicated.
Yeah.
Dream world was really mixed in with reality.
Yeah.
So I felt fine. I had no pain. I was way with the fairies. Like I was.
That was like the same for me. Like when I was in hospital, I thought my arm was a turkey at one point, and it was making like the shadow up. Yeah, because I was on so much like I don't know morphine derivatives. I was like thinking my arm was a turkey, and I'm like gobble gobble to my mum. Did you like do? I don't know. That's
so I dreamt that I was in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's pool house.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And his butler was helping me get back to the hospital in a limo.
Oh, wow.
So I was dreaming that I was in the pool house in a hospital bed, and then I had a patient next to me, and I had a phone, which was the nurse bell, and I was trying to ring my mum, but my mum has been dead for 6 years. So like I was away with but then I remember coming back from a scan, and I think I was in a hospital bed, and coming back onto the ward and seeing my dad and being like, am I still dreaming? Because I could see my dad, he lives in Australia, and I haven't seen him for like 9 years. And he was like, no, Sam, I'm here. I flew from Australia. I was like, okay, what's going on? And they told me what happened. I don't remember them telling me, but I thought I was going to be going back to work the next day because I felt fine. And then I couldn't move I couldn't move my hand at all. My arm was in a sling. I remember having a cast on my thumb and thinking to myself, why have I got a cast on my thumb? I can still move my thumb, but I've got a cast on, so I took it off. They were like, no, Sam, you've broken your thumb. And I was like, okay, what else have I broken? I had no hair this side of my head. They shaved the hair off because I broke my skull, and they had to mend the fractures. So they had to shave my head. So I'm glad I wasn't going back to work because I didn't have any hair.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's just mental. And then I remember them telling me that I had to wait for another hospital bed in another hospital where I had my neuro rehab.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it felt like a year long that I was waiting. It was only a month,
So, just like, because you had like your accident, like, when did they sort of tell you, and sort of what was those sort of feelings about, like when they told you, like, oh, you've had this, you had this, or whatever?
I don't think they don't stand there and tell you what you had done. I don't remember them telling me. I remember having to go for brain scans because I had bad brain injury, because there was only 7% chance that I was going to come out of the coma because of where I was injured.
Yeah.
They weren't worried about my neck break anymore because it was a stable fracture, and because I was not doing anything for 2 weeks, it healed enough.
Yeah.
I think me being a physio and realising I could move my arm, and it was because of nerves, it wasn't because of a break.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be bad.
Yeah, having that knowledge already, you sort of knew. Yeah, that's crazy to think. Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky that I didn't lose my marbles, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I'm still able to think like a physio and be motivated.
Yeah, that's like, now let's move into, like, so we talked about like where you were there, like where did you go from there in terms of your own rehab, you know, being a physio and having, I assume, physios coming in and like, tell me a little about that.
So,
were you bossy?
I was a bad patient.
Yeah.
I think being a female, being a physio, and being an inpatient is worst combination.
They're probably up. They're like, oh, we've got this physio. Oh, for God's sake.
So I remember waiting to be transferred to the neuro rehab unit.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing for me because I saw physio every day, had hydrotherapy twice a week, had a speech therapist, had like all my tests done there.
Yeah.
But I remember not being able to walk by myself for I think a month and a half, 2 months.
Okay.
Because I had someone to help me walk. And I remember looking at my wardrobe in my room and being like, I just want to look in my wardrobe. I didn't even know what I want to look for. I just want to stand up, walk to my wardrobe, look in my wardrobe.
See what's in there.
Yeah. But I was like, I don't want to have to wait for someone to come and walk me to my wardrobe, but I don't even know what I want to go there for.
Yeah.
So I got up and walked and fell over.
Oh.
And then I realised to listen to a physio is important. So, yeah.
Take your own advice.
Yeah, take your own advice. But because I was so medicated still, I just remember being so depressed, so miserable. I felt like I was in prison, not being able to use my arm. Feeling that I wasn't able to be a physio again was the worst thing ever. I wanted them to cut my arm off at one point. Before my surgery, I wanted the arm to be gone because it was causing me so much nerve pain and it was like a dead weight. I couldn't do anything with it. It was just a hindrance. I thought. I just wanted them to cut it off. But they weren't going to do an operation on me because they didn't think my injury was as bad as it was.
Yeah.
So they only thought it was one nerve instead of two. So they thought it was just going to come back to normal. But
yeah. So do you want to describe, like, I guess what the diagnosis is? That's I'm not very good at terminology. So
So we go from the head down.
Yeah.
So brain injury. I had my frontal lobe and parietal lobe affected, to the point where they told my dad that I might not remember him, but no problems with my memory at all.
That's good then.
C5 was fractured but stable. 3 of my lumbar vertebrae were fractured but stable, and C5 and C6 on my brachial plexus were pulled out the spinal cord. So that's why I've had surgery on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but what did they do in the surgery? Was that sort of moving
So
it back?
I had surgery when I flew back. So I discharged myself from hospital in Austria, and then I flew back to England, and I Googled my surgeon, and I researched him, and I contacted him, and I saw him in London at Stanmore, and it's so weird what they do. They look at your nerves with electronic meter or something to see what nerves are working, see what nerves you're using, but not really to the full advantage, and move them to where they're needed, and glue them.
Oh, just glue them in.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they cut here, had a look at my brachial plexus, saw what nerves were damaged, saw what nerves I could still use, and then they cut all underneath your arm and move them and glue them with glue.
Seems so barbaric.
So weird, but now I can move my hand, move my arm. I can move my elbow a little bit, but not much. It's coming still, and I can't do this.
So how long after the injury was that? What was the time period?
So injury to surgery was 6 months.
Yeah.
And they said that's the optimum time for surgery, because nerves, you've got to act them really quickly.
Yeah. And just for reference in that, when was this in years, and so
my injury was New Year's Eve 2015-16.
Yeah.
And my surgery was June 2016.
Yeah. So now it's been
2 years.
2 years.
Well, it's going to be 2 years in June from my surgery.
Yeah.
And it's just gone 2
just
years.
Gone 2 years.
From my accident.
So, I want to talk. So let's move on to what you're trying to achieve now, which I think is absolutely amazing, and I think everybody else will think it is too. Everest, basically. You couldn't think of anything probably more challenging, but you were telling me earlier, you met the person.
But so 2 days before my injury, I met the leader of what's called the Adaptive Grand Slam. So they try and do the 7 highest summits in the world, and the North and South Pole, but adaptively. So they're all ex-military males that have been injured because of war. One of the guys, Jacko, he's a Paralympian cyclist.
Okay.
He's got one arm amputated. Another guy, Terry, he's got a leg amputated. He's doing the summit with a prosthetic leg.
Wow.
And Martin, who's the leader, he got shot in the back and the foot. He's got one paralysed arm because of where he was shot. So I was so impressed with what they did. I wanted to be their physio.
Yeah.
So we took each other's contact details, and then my accident happened.
Yeah.
And then I messaged him and was like, sorry, I can't be your physio anymore, but I still want to be involved.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks after my surgery, I tried out for Aconcagua, which is the highest in the Andes that I did last February. But I only did 10k because I was so new after my injury and my surgery. But then last year I tried out for Everest and I was able to complete it. October last.
So what do you mean by, is this the training required to make sure you're okay enough to do?
Then, so you pass the first stage where you have to go to the Brecon Beacons, hike a certain amount over the Black Mountains, and then based on that...
That sounds amazing by itself, really
good. Then based on that you do more training and see where you are in your level. So then I got through that stage, and the next stage was hiking up Gran Paradiso in Italy, which is the highest mountain in Italy, and that was amazing. So Everest is planned for mid-March. So this year I'm not doing the summit, that will be in the future for sure.
Yeah.
But this year I'm doing just a bit higher than base camp. It's called L'Auberge East. So it's 6,100 meters.
Which is very high by
Yeah,
itself.
very high.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like when you told me, like, because we kept in contact a bit over the years. Obviously, you were doing so much rehab and that.
Yeah.
But like when you were told me you were doing it, I was like, wow, like what? Like it was just like it didn't quite register to begin with. Like, wait, you want to do Everest? I was like, nah, you're crazy.
It's so weird. Like before my accident, I wasn't a hiker, I wasn't a mountaineer. I loved being active. I loved skiing down mountains, but never hiking up them. But I've always been the kind of person that needs to have a goal.
Yeah.
Needs to have something to drive for. And now it's mountaineering, so...
Which is amazing, yeah. So you said you sort of passed your thing in the Brecon Beacons and that, and you're doing training now, so what sort of stuff do you have to do? You sent me some videos, and I'll include them while we're talking and that. Like what sort of stuff are you having to do, and how does your injury impact it as well? So
every day after work I do high intensity interval training for an hour, and that's stations where you work really hard for say like 45 to 50 seconds and then have like 10 seconds or 20 seconds rest. Do that for an hour. So anything,
that's a long time.
So anything that I can't do, like burpees because of my arm, or like ski erg, or like any weights that I can't lift off my head, I'll just adapt it.
Yeah.
And the guys,
you like that word.
and the guys that own the place, they know about my injury. They know about how fit I was before my injury. They know that I'll adapt if I can. If I can do it, I'll do it. But if not, I'll just adapt it, just change it.
Looks like I'm going to have to come and meet these guys.
Yeah, they're awesome people.
Yeah, I bet.
So, for instance, like a burpee, I can't get down to the floor and do a burpee, so I do it on a wooden thing that I put my hands on, so I didn't have to go right to the floor. So I do that every day during the week, and then once a weekend, like Saturday or Sunday, if I'm not down in Bournemouth seeing my friends or something, I try and hike at least 30k or 4 or 5 hours, or I climb a mountain.
Yeah.
So last weekend I did 2 mountains in Scotland. It's just amazing.
I bet.
But I'm so lucky and proud of myself that I'm able to do that.
Yeah, you definitely should be. Yeah, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
A really good achievement. Like when's Everest, and like do you have certain more goals to hit before you get there?
Just gotta keep going.
Keep going, and Everest is it?
Everest is in mid-March.
So only what? 60, 70 days, something like that? Wow, so there's no kind of aim, no kind of goal except for Everest. I'm just training as much as I can, wearing my heart rate monitor because it's really important to look at how quickly your heart recovers. Yeah.
And just trying to get as fit as I can, because that's all you can train for. You can't train for altitude.
Yeah, definitely.
If altitude affects me too badly, then I've got to come down, but I just got to be as fit as I can be.
And you were saying like your injury doesn't necessarily affect you, like your actual mountaineering, it's more just the altitude stuff.
Yeah, so I can still walk. My balance and coordination, because of my head injury, is a little bit off, but it's getting better. I just got to practice walking and practicing with crampons. Using ice axes is a bit different because of my right arm, but there's a way to do anything. You just got to practice.
Yeah. So you're getting up to just above base camp. Yeah. Is that before sort of stuff that comes where you have to do some like actual like up rope ladders and stuff like that?
Yes, go over ladders.
So
I did have to do that.
So you're pretty much going as high as to that point, and then train for that when you want to do the summit. Yeah, that's incredible. Like getting to that point, even like lots of people don't even get to base camp and that, and you're going to go further than that. And I have no doubt that you're going to achieve that.
Well, hopefully.
No, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. No, I have every faith in you. I know how determined and that you are.
Well, you've got to be.
Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't have got this far anyway. Like you wouldn't even got to this point without that sort of the right attitude to get up that far. I just want to backtrack a little bit. You said about coming down and seeing your friends and that. I know you have a very good supportive network of friends that you've had for a very long time.
Yeah.
What were they like, during the early stages and going on to now, what they've been like, really?
Well, it was hard because my accident happened in Austria.
Yeah.
And my rehab was in Austria. I didn't get back to the UK until beginning of March. But as soon as I got back, they were really supportive. They were doing as much as they could for me, but I've always been the kind of person that would want to do it themselves.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I think that's important, but sometimes you've got to realise how much help you do need.
Yeah, no, I learned that lesson as well. Like, you need to know when to say, okay, can you, and that obviously comes in time, you sort of learn.
And you've got to remember that people aren't mind readers.
No, exactly.
You need a hand, you need to say something.
Yeah. Well, my rule is with everybody, if I need help, I ask for it.
Yes, exactly.
Alright, don't help me otherwise. Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even if I'm struggling, it's fine. I want to get there eventually.
Because you need to learn to do things.
Yeah, exactly.
If people are going to help you constantly, you're never going to learn.
Yeah. Well, I remember for myself personally, it's a really weird thing. There was like a Jaffa cake bar that I really wanted when I was in Salisbury, and I really couldn't open it. And my mum was like, "Oh, I'll help you."
I remember you telling me that.
And I was just like, "No, I need to open this." And I was just like there for ages, like trying to figure it out. And I literally spent an hour trying to open this Jaffa cake bar, throwing it across the room several times. So by the time I actually ate it, it was all mush. But I was like, "No, it's not the Jaffa cake bar I wanted."
I told you about that actually, because I was trying to open this chocolate bar in hospital in Austria.
Yeah.
And I couldn't open it. It makes you so frustrated.
Yeah.
But if you don't learn how to do it, you're never going to be able to do.
And now it takes me like no time at all. I could do it, but it's that very first moment of learning how to do it for yourself. And every time something like that arises for me, I always think back to the Jaffa cake bar that I wanted to, which is quite funny. So every time I see a Jaffa cake bar in a supermarket or something, or anything I relate to that, I go like, memories there, which is quite funny.
It's good though, because you gotta have that humour as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's good times with that. So you've got a very supportive network of friends, and which is really good to see. And you obviously come down, but now you're in London again, and you're working. Do you want to say about what you're?
So I'm working in hospital in London as a physio.
Which is amazing.
That was the one thing that made me more upset than anything else, was not being a physio again.
Yeah.
I can. It's amazing.
And it's exactly what you were doing previously.
Yeah, exactly what I was doing.
It just proves that you don't need. It doesn't matter where you are on that.
No, I think
you can just.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's more important being a physio, having gone through that time in being in hospital, being a patient.
Yeah.
You can relate a lot more to your patients.
Yeah, and I bet they love it that they have someone that
Or sometimes they like, how would you know? You've never been in hospital, never been. Well, I tell them about what's happened, and they work. They work so much harder.
Yeah, I bet. A bit like
because they think if I can do it, then they can.
Got no excuses.
No excuses.
So I want to sort of end up start to finish now on what you're doing with your blog and that, which is really interesting, and how you're using it not just as a tool to document what you're doing, but it's sort of a thing for yourself, isn't it? Can tell me about?
So I started my blog just before my injury.
It's called
Beauty and Tragedy.
Okay, so that's a good name. I'll make sure I link that down below, or if I figure out how to put it up on the screen, I'll do that.
Yeah. I started before my injury, and I wanted to carry on after my injury.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important to not keep things inside, get things out in the open, because it will just help you.
Yeah.
Help you, whatever you're feeling, whatever you hate, you love, get it out.
Yeah. And you started this, when did you start the blog?
I started it probably half a year before my injury.
Yeah.
And then I did my first blog after my injury, the first month after. And
so it's good you got that. It's good that you started before, so you got that documentation.
So looking back at my blog, reading the first one after my injury is I must have been so medicated, because how it's written. I think I've got a picture, a video of The Simpsons sliding down a mountain. So I'm glad I still had some humour.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's just about, I documented about how I was so depressed, I just didn't want to carry on. You go through points where you're really pleased with how your progress is going on.
Yeah, definitely. And
your recovery, but then you have times, sometimes lasting a few days, where you just want it to end.
Yeah.
You don't, what is the point of living? I was so fit before my injury, so happy with where my life is going, and then it just stops.
Yeah.
You're like...
And that's something I can obviously totally relate to. And
what have I got now in my life?
Yeah, it's crazy. But you've come through that now, and I always said when you don't have that goal and ambition, that's when the depression sets in terms of things to do. I talked about that with Sam previously, and obviously again with Sam, but different from Sam. But having something to go for, and obviously with Everest and the other things that talking to those guys and trying to achieve those other things, having those goals and ambitions, even if you don't hit them, it's just having them.
No, you have to have something to reach for.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just tumbling along like some tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
It's almost good not to achieve some of the goals, because then you still try to reach for them, and that's the thing that's good. As I say, it's not about the destination necessarily, although your destination will be absolutely amazing. The journey is what's the important bit, definitely.
Because even you recover and you progress, even when you don't get to the destination.
Yeah.
So doing everything up until that point, you're still working, still achieving things that you would never think were going to be possible.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's amazing. And you've had lots of people reach out to you because your injury is quite rare.
Yeah.
And it's great that you've connected with some other people. And
so people that have had similar injuries to me, they've messaged me about their recovery and anything that I could help them with. And even people that have had strokes, seeing someone being so damaged and so I wasn't going to come out of the coma apparently, to now going up Everest. It's important to see that someone can go through that.
Yeah, and literally you're going as pretty much as far as you can go in terms of an achievement.
Yeah.
And the fact that some people don't even not everybody wants to climb Everest, which is fair enough.
Course.
But if someone can climb Everest, then you can walk to the wardrobe.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
And even if you haven't had an accident, if you're able-bodied completely, never had an injury, you've always still got to have goals.
Yeah,
have
exactly.
dreams.
Yeah, it's something to get out of bed in the morning for and to go reach for.
Because depression can hit you no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Even if nothing happens, you can be so depressed and not even have a reason to be depressed.
Yeah. Well, quite a lot of people that when I've done some research on depression, just to help me like relate to some people, you could have like a perfect life, everything's going well and that, but you're depressed because you don't feel like you're living for anything.
Yeah.
Like you're just living day by day and stuff happens, but you're not really affecting the world necessarily.
That's when you've got to have goals and you've got to have some drive.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason why I want to set this up, to help people realise that you've got to work for something, and just having any goal, doesn't matter what it is. It can be little.
It could be even opening a packet of Jaffa cakes.
Exactly. Good callback there. Yeah. So, but having that is just amazing, and once you hit it, find another one. Once you hit that, find another one. Just keep going.
So even though I'm not doing something this year, then that will be a plan for the future.
Yeah. And then there's how many other mountains to do after that?
A lot of mountains.
There's a lot of mountains in the world.
But you've got to be like you were saying, if you don't reach that goal when you wanted to reach it, the mountains aren't going anywhere.
No.
So if I don't do it this year, don't do it next year, they're going to be there.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They've been here longer than we have.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely fascinating. And thank you very much for coming today. It's been really great talking to you and learning a bit more, because we did keep in contact, but like hearing it from yourself in person is really good. Like in that relation to what you've been through and that, and hearing your story has been really, really good, and hopefully eye-opening to some of the people watching, and inspire them maybe to do it, and follow you on your blog, and maybe reach out if they're going through something, if they've been through something.
If anyone's got any questions, they can ask me anything.
Okay.
They really can.
Yeah.
I'm a complete open book.
Again, I'll link down below, and if I figure it out, I'll put it on the screen. Like this, I was like, I've got to figure some stuff
figure it out.
I'll do something. Yeah. But I'll make sure people come and follow you. Again, thank you so much for coming today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If you like this, and you want to see more like it, please let me know below. If there's any other topics that you want me to explore with some people. And if you want to see Sam again on this channel and talk about more things, then again, let me know. Yeah, just let me know. Write down in the comments below, or follow me on Instagram, Facebook, message me there. I've got lots of different things. It's Adapt to Perform everywhere. Everything's down below. And until next time, guys, thank you very much.